welcome everybody to this week's episode of Strong Perspective Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Keith Armstrong, along with today
Uncle Spoke.
also
I'm Keith Barnes.
welcome Keith. Keith is a frequent flyer. He's a friend of the show. Always have a good time when he come on. Um,
Thanks for having me.
Damien's gonna be joining us momentarily, but welcome to the show. Um, I think a lot of times, during the week, the one question that always crosses my mind is, why do I do the show? And it's not because I don't want to do the show or anything like that, but I try to figure out the degree of podcasting that I enjoy. Like, I want Jaquari and Damon and Keith, I want you guys to be popular enough to be invited on other people's platforms. So that's why I try to showcase everyone as far as try to showcase your knowledge, showcase your personalities. You know what I mean? Because I'm all right being the only bland one in the during the podcast. I want all the personalities to flow. With that being said, please go to our YouTube channel, like, share, and subscribe. Recommend us to your friends, families, co-workers. Come and check us out. You know, let's just fall in line when it comes to what other people say. 2026, we're gonna blow up. This is our year, everybody. This is our year. This is 3 years strong for us. But welcome, Damon. Introduce yourself.
Damon Armstrong, father, husband, grandfather. You know what I'm saying? Trying to make sure I complete the role, man. Make sure everybody feels complete and happy. Be supportive as much as I possibly can and continue from there, bro.
Okay. I think I was being a little cute today, as I was speaking on before, when I said, why I do this. Then I said, you know what? Let me take a phrase to the fellas today and to our audience. So this is what I think about Strong Perspective Podcast. It's where ideas collide, truths emerge, and then that's where Strong Perspectives start. I just threw it out there now. If we had an audience, the motherfuckers would be clapping right now.
Snapping their fingers and shit. That was kind of profound, bro. I'm going to give you that.
No, I ain't want no credit for it, but I think that's our goal. And you also, Keith, when you come on as a guest, I want all of us to have some. It don't have to be a long soliloquy of deepness, but have a saying each show. You know what I'm saying? There's something in mind, something you might have heard, something that always that you think about during the day that gets you going. I think that I would love for that to be a theme, and we'll talk about that in the beginning of the show. You know what I mean? We'll let y'all marinate on that. You know what I mean? Do y'all got anything to offer today? You don't have to have it, but do you have anything to offer today?
I like your second question, bro, or your second statement, as a matter of fact. That's pretty profound, bro. Real deep. Man. I hope to get off into that.
Oh, yeah. Well, that would be a good place to start. But let me just do this. Jaquari, how was your day today?
It was passable, man. I didn't get into anything big. Regular Friday. It's beginning my weekend, right? That's all.
Okay.
Pretty good day.
Okay. Steve Barnes, what about you? How was your day today?
My day was really, really good. I started out, uh, I saw potential, and I was tempted to be a little salty about some stuff, but I pushed through it, and just surf, surf the attitude. I let people have the attitude. That's what was the thing. I guess what you were saying. The slogan I would use is, uh, "I can have a bad moment, but not a bad day. It's up to me to have a bad day."
Sound like a lot of wisdom in that, bro.
Yeah.
You can make me have a bad moment, but if the day is bad, it's me.
Look, and I can't let it go past when you said you had a potentially salty day, but you
Yeah,
didn't let it go.
there you
You
go.
know what I'm saying? Damon, how was your day today, bro?
My day was good, man. My grandbaby was saying some things to me today, and just me going through the normal situation, whatever. I started paying attention, and she was really 4 years old. She was addressing some real things. You know what I'm saying? As it pertains to her and what she was experiencing. And I started paying attention. And I was like, yep. I caught myself. I need to start paying attention a little bit more, not get caught up in the drama that's around us, man. You know what I'm saying? She's saying something. She's making a statement that matters and means something.
That's awesome.
Yeah, the one thing I know that you understand is she echoes what she sees in you.
Yeah.
Well, what hit me when she said, Grant, she called me Grant D. Are you paying attention? She literally said that.
And did you say, huh?
No, I was like,
Don't
okay.
worry about me.
Hey, you know what? If it would have been somebody else, I'd have made that statement, bro. But I was like, damn, I need to pay attention.
No doubt. No doubt. All right. Well, look, let's just do this because you pointed out one of the topics, Damon, and I think is a good place to start. Really is a phrase, it's a saying, and the saying is be wise with your kindness, silent with your blessings, and relentless with your efforts. I heard a pastor say that,
Right.
and it hit me. And I'm just curious with you guys, but I'll start first so you guys can, you know, formulate your thoughts. I think, a lot of it has to do with, you can't be kind to everyone, right? But you can't focus on not being kind to everyone. So I think that's where the wise came from. Like, look,
I
you,
agree.
you, don't, you don't have to be guarded. That, yeah, should I? Do they deserve my kindness? Do it? No, because to me, it comes within you. It's who you are as a human being, whether or not you should be kind in that situation. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's how you know what I mean? Because that's how I feel about it. And then, silent in your blessings. A lot of times when people hear that kind of thing, they mean, yo, don't let nobody know what's going on with you and all this. But me, I see it as be grateful, but not braggadocious to lessen somebody else's life.
Hmm.
You feel what I'm saying? I don't think the way that it looks is like, yo, be secretive of what's going on. It depends on the company you keep to be secretive. To be honest with you,
Hmm.
your group of friends or or other folks, your coworkers or whoever you're around, sometimes they don't need to know everything about you. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes they don't need to know everything about you. And then relentless with your effort, that is thinking, and living as though you deserve everything good that comes your way. You know what I mean? Because I'm trying to I need a little bit of latitude when I say this. Sometimes what we do, and this is what I believe, we get caught up on whether or not we deserve a blessing, whether or not we did enough for a blessing. But what I come to realize is blessings are always there for you. They will come, right? It's not that you have to, if it's preparation, it is to be able to not be overwhelmed by what has always been ordained for you individually. Not being overwhelmed. Not like, oh, I cursed him, now I don't get my blessing. No, what you did was you tainted your energy where you don't fully enjoy your blessing.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? Because to me, when it comes to my faith, I have all the power over it here on earth. You dig what I'm saying? Meaning how I think, how I am, who I want to be. You dig? You know, and that's what it is. Because I'm going to tell you this little short thing. I came to the realization when it comes to blessing, God bless, and if you believe in God, God bless everyone, even the ones you feel don't deserve it, even the ones who act like and show they don't deserve it, they get blessed. You know what I'm saying? So it made me start to feel like, listen, I have to work on myself as an individual. I have to bring myself up, my confidence, my energy, my alignment, my frequency adjusted so I can handle the good things coming my way. Anybody else ready to tackle that?
In particular, man, the thing about, what was it?
Be wise with your
Be
kindness.
wise with your kindness. I mean, you have to have the discernment to know when to grant somebody, kindness, which is a gift, and when to be nice. You can do both. You can be kind and not be nice, and be nice and not be kind. You know what I mean? Kindness helps, and niceness sort of alleviates the emotional side. So it all depends on what you're willing to give. Be silent with your blessings. Uh, I'm quite sure that has its merits or whatever, but my God is a generous God, and to exalt Him when He gifts me with certain things is a part of how I choose to worship. And relentless with your efforts. That's relative, man. I mean, you can spend your time pushing a boulder up a mountain, man, all day long, man. But you got to realize it's the easier way to do it. It's always the easier way to do
Yeah. Okay. Keith, Damon, which one want to go?
Well, the way I do deal with it, I guess, or
You might be. You sound a little distant, man.
oh, do I?
Yeah.
Okay. How about now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, the way I see it is, I understand what is the whole phrase. I understand what it's saying, but with I'll run into what I run into is that I'm kind. I'll kind. There's a statement I make sometimes. I say I'm not a nice person. I'm not a nice guy, but I'm kind because I want to be. I want to be a nice guy. But if you knew what was going on in my head, my thoughts, I'm not a nice guy. But I'm doing what I do out of my beliefs, my faith, and my morals. What was taught to me, what was put into me, of how to behave. But the blessings, yeah, that I'll agree with that. With silence, it accept them in silence. Was it accept them in silence? What was it say?
Silent with your blessings, yeah.
Silent with your blessings, yes. Because that's I get so many, man, that I don't even recognize probably half of them until later on.
That's real.
Right in the middle of something where I thought was I was really catching it. I was getting punished, but later down the road, I realized it was actually a blessing what I was going through, and so that's absolutely true. Silent with the blessings, and I think it ties into the first part. That's what I was trying to say. When you're doing, I'm doing something in kindness. If I'm doing it, I'm just doing it. I don't have any expectations or anything like that. So I guess it's technically in silence. If I'm trying to help you, I'll just come help you. And if it's up to me, you won't even know I helped you. I'll just help you, and it makes me feel good to do that. I think I sort of answered that. That was deep. It was running through my mind. I was thinking that's all kind of tying in together.
Yeah.
If you do one, you're kind of doing the other.
Oh,
One
yeah,
last thing I
yeah,
will say is that it will, when I don't want to, because a lot of times where I get put in positions where I have to do things because it's the right thing to do. I don't really want to do it. I don't really want to be kind. I don't really want to do this kind thing, but it's the thing to do. I wrestle with it sometimes.
yeah. Okay. Damon.
I think in succession it makes sense, man. Be wise with your kindness. You know what I'm saying? That's coming with the understanding that the Holy Spirit is working through you, man. You know what I'm saying? You are able to recognize your blessings, right? Because how do you get the Holy Spirit to interact with you is you reach out and ask, right? You reach out and ask. And then, you know what I'm saying? Wiseness comes with it. You recognize the blessings and to recognize the blessings, you understand the wiseness because like y'all mentioned in your previous comments is that, I have to differentiate whether or not this person deserves it. If you pray and you get this information, this understanding, then you recognize that you are being recognized. You know what I'm saying? And just through the grace of God and the Holy Spirit. You know what I'm saying? You understand that you mean something and you are being addressed. You feel what I'm saying? You are being addressed. So with that understanding, then it's easy to come to a conclusion that I need to be wise and I need to be silent in my blessings because I am being recognized in that. I'm being recognized in that. So it's not about in terms of my own personal experience with the Holy Spirit. It's all about understanding that I prayed, my questions got answered. So I'm moving in the spirit of the connection between me and the Holy Spirit. So I don't have to address anything. So I could be silent in that because I got recognized. And in the world we live in, that recognition means more than anything. You know what I'm saying? That is personal between you and your God. It is personal. So you don't have to speak on it, and you don't have to go around talking about, "Hey man, God answered my question." You just simply say, "Man, I was going through something, and God answered my question." Now, what do? I go through the process of spreading the same thing that you experience. Be with all personal. You don't have answers for everybody else. You can only uh, testify through a personal experience. So, like you said, bro, be wise with your kindness. That means don't be arrogant. Don't be arrogant. Just recognize that your prayers got answered. And then you go through the process of understanding your blessings and not being arrogant about it. And just pass it on to the next person. You know what I'm saying? And then your efforts is what? Recognizing that you were recognized to whatever situation is, and just be that. Be a vessel. Be a vessel and just go through it. Because it's all predicated on what? You getting on your hands and knees and asking a question. You're not going to get to any of those situations unless you ask, unless you humble yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who was this?
We'll find out later.
What's up?
Looked like one of my old teammates.
All right.
Good to have you, bro.
I didn't mean to get off into it. It was just personal to me. That's why I brought it to you, bro. It was just personal to me.
Was it your answer?
It was actually going. I'm actually going through that right now.
Okay. Well, that's why we even posed it. You know what I mean? To give your feelings toward it. All right, now I want to just. This is not a pivot. This is not. Just veer off just slightly. This last thing we were talking about was had religious connotations, but it really faith in it, right? This next thing, I'm just curious because I have the three of you here. I'm not sure if you've been, because like I said, I'm retired, so I watch social media. I'm not obsessed about it, but I'll go through my feeds and all that, and realize that there was a controversy. Pastor Bryant, if you're not familiar with him, but he's a pastor in Atlanta. Yeah, and the controversy had to do with his wife wearing a naked dress, right?
What?
Now let me explain. A naked dress. So basically, it's misleading. It's a flesh-colored dress, but nicknamed naked dress. You know what I mean? Because it don't look like it's anything under, but it's actually a layer of material. It's just her complexion, right?
It looks like her flesh tone, right?
Yeah. So was it a fundraiser? Yeah, they was at a fundraiser. Negro College Fund, I believe, something like that, in which they raised $4 million. But the church, the conservative folks in the feed, in the congregation, had a problem with her wearing this dress, right? Because, she's a doctor also, of theology. But folks had a problem with the fact that she is, the mother of the church, and they felt she was out of pocket for wearing the dress. He got on and defended it, right? He ended up saying he bought the dress, right? So my question to you is, just giving you the background of it, is it realistic for pastors and their wives to have a dress code when leading their congregation? Just a simple question. Ain't too deep, but basically that's what the whole premise of the controversy was. Is it realistic? Because the term "come as you are" means everything, not just clothing, but everything. You know what I mean? Whether or not you have any problems going on, alcohol, drugs, whatever, come as you are, so you can be administered, right? But to you, in your opinion, guys, is it realistic to hold a pastor and his wife to that standard if he's leading the congregation?
I think first of all, man, we really really need to come to the realization as a black church community that pastors and bishops and reverends are human beings. They are fallible. And I'm not saying that lady was wrong by wearing the dress. I haven't seen it. I mean, was it just flesh colored? Was it risque? Was it low cut?
It was borderline risque, bro. Real talk.
I mean, it was all right.
From what I saw.
What I remember of it, it came down to her knees, right? But you got the little pattern, and it was flesh colored, so you know how if say a woman in a club have a sheer dress on. See, her dress was not sheer.
Right.
Her dress was not sheer. It gave you the perception of it.
It gave you. It definitely did that.
But the lame Chiquari and all of that, it wasn't like all her butt showing or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? It's just and plus if you ever see it, she's a full figured woman. Like
now she came out of South Africa, man. Whatever.
Look. Just no disrespect. Thick, small waist, thick, basically.
And I think that's something that needs to be taken into consideration, man. But I mean, I can't get past the feeling, man, that hell, if she had worn a pair of pants, it would have been the same thing. It would have been the same thing. I mean,
depending on the people and how they see it, right?
Yeah, I mean, black churches, man. With the whole Euro conservative thing they got going on, man. It's just, I mean, it's something that we got to get past. That's the barrier, man. Everybody wants to be old school, but old school wasn't always the right school. I mean, there's progression, man. There's advancement, and like I said, man, we got to realize that our religious leaders are human beings, and if anybody's working on themselves in the eyes of God, it's them.
Gotcha.
I'm gonna say this. This is true about me. I struggle with lust.
Bring the mic up close, Key.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I'm gonna say, me personally, I struggle with lust. Always have. So the Bible does say, there's two things I tell them. But one is, I think it's in 1 Timothy. It says, in like manner, women adorn themselves in modest apparel. This modest apparel, modesty meaning they're covered. So if I'm a man, I am a man, but if you out there with your wife or whoever, and she hits that stage, and she's speaking, and she's on the Jumbotron with that dress on, are they hearing what she's saying? The wives are checking out their husband.
Real,
seeing what he's looking at, see how he's reacting to it.
real quick, Keith. And I'm sorry. I'm gonna let you continue, man. But I just want to
Mm-hmm.
ask you, man. You know, you said the scripture about the modest dress of woman and everything.
Mm-hmm.
What's the scripture about a man being able to control his urges?
Yeah, it's I'm gonna give it to you. I don't have it off the top of my head, but it says that
Matter of fact,
Is
I
there
just wrote about it.
is there one?
Yeah.
there
Yeah,
is one.
it is.
It's
Yeah.
it is.
It is.
I'm gonna actually look that up. But
Why God allow us to lust? There is a scripture about that.
Look,
yeah,
And I ain't mean to cut you off, Keith.
yeah.
no, no,
Go
So,
ahead and finish, Keith, and then I have a comment about that too, and then Damon, you're gonna be up. But go ahead.
but yeah,
And
that's
it's not that I'm disagreeing with you. It's
no,
just I've got a different view of it. But go ahead, Keith.
yeah. We're saying in like manner also that women adorn themselves in modest apparel with shamefacedness and sobriety, which means they shouldn't be grandstanding their man and
Okay.
shouldn't be drunk, anything like that. But they shouldn't be drunk. That dress and all of that, her figure, all of that is for her husband. Now he's saying he bought the dress. That don't surprise me. Uh, with his history,
Well, look at
with
you
his
like this.
with his history, hey, I'm sure he bought the dress. Uh,
He said he did.
I don't know anything about him, so
He
it's
said he
why
he
I'm
said
not.
he brought the dress. He
Yeah,
said
yeah,
that.
he said he
he
did.
did.
I believe him. And that term, "come as you are," that's not in the Bible anyway. It's not in the Bible anyway. "Come as you are," that's something man-made. They made up. But I mean, even down to the pants and everything is was another scripture. Was it Deuteronomy 22:5? It says, a woman shall not wear what pertaineth to a man, neither should a man wear woman's garments. Those that do so are an abomination to the Lord their God. Now,
Okay,
everybody
now
get that part where a man don't wear a woman's garments, but then that first part, a woman should not wear what pertaineth to a man. That's where you get pushback.
I mean, but why isn't it? And this is my question to you.
Hmm.
Why isn't it more clear? That's probably why you get the pushback. Why isn't that more clear? Because men wear pants, but at one time men wore skirts too in England and whatever, or in Africa they wore long robe type situations. You see what I'm saying? Like,
Okay.
so let me just address the lust thing, man. Look, it is our responsibility, no matter how this woman dressed, to I kind of this is what I feel. I kind of feel like because somebody said that. I kind of feel like you're putting the responsibility for what you need to get control of on her because what she has on. You see what I'm saying? Now, do I agree what she had on? No, I don't. I don't care. I should say because it's the word. You are going for the word. Whatever the denomination that you going through, all this, you are going for the word. You're not going for the figurehead because it would be a lot easier for if these folks. I mean, because I think God touches them by what they say. He flows through them, right? But they don't become him. But he gives. They're able to echo him. You see what I'm saying? Because it's our responsibility for us and our children under us and our wives. That's our responsibility.
But you know what it boils.
Not the pastor's responsibility.
But you know what it boils down to me, because in that real time situation, he did defend his wife. You know what I'm saying? And in justification of defending his wife, he was right. But his wife could be questioned by the way she was dressed. That's just it is. And it's all determined on where everybody is in their evolution, in their situation in terms of being close with God or whatever. It's all, you have to decide. For example, for me, did I respect him to the point where he defended his wife? I absolutely did. You know what I'm saying? Do I respect the fact that people were questioning how she showed up and all that stuff? I can respect that too.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, for me, it's about where are you at in your evolution in terms of being close, being close with God and where you're trying to be.
Hey,
For
Damon,
me,
real quick, Damon, I struggle with their judgment.
See, this
You know what, though?
this is the thing for me, man. This is the thing for me. Okay, God, in the beginning, God was fine with nakedness. God was
That's
fine
true.
with nakedness.
That's
It was
true.
us who had the
After Adam and Eve fell, what was the first emotion they felt? The first emotion they felt was shame, and they covered themselves.
That's true. That's deep, bro. Go ahead, run
Okay,
that shit.
so as far as the physical body is, man, I'm thinking, man, churches should be clothes optional. How about that?
There you go. You had to throw that out there. Go ahead and finish, Damon.
My point is this, man. In our evolution and what we go through in life, man, we're going to agree with certain things and we're going to disagree. It all depends, you know what I'm saying? And in that, factor in guilt and all that stuff, you know what I'm saying? It's all what the individual is. You know what I'm saying? If they see this man's wife inappropriate in how she dresses and all that stuff, that's their issue, not the wife's. You know what I'm saying? The wife only comes to that conclusion when she feels she was inappropriate. You know what I'm saying? And that's God working through her.
Mm-hmm.
She come to that conclusion, not her husband defending her, but her saying, you know what, maybe I shouldn't have wore that dress. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I should have chose another ensemble or whatever. That's on her. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, it's not anybody defending or being in opposition of it. It's her coming to the conclusion, man, maybe I should have, you know what, this caused a confliction in our situation or whatever. Maybe I should have made a better choice. That's her decision. You know what I'm saying? She could have went out there, man, with a, you know what I'm saying, covered up with a over her head and all that stuff. And they said, hey, man, but she showed a little gold with the necklace that she had on underneath that. People are going to have their opinions about stuff. It's all predicated on how this woman feels and what she learned from it. Now, she could be defensive and say, hey, man, I don't give a damn what y'all think. That's not recognizing that, you know what I'm saying, I'm in this position and I need to hold myself to a certain standard. She has to recognize what standard she holds herself to.
So let me ask the three of you guys, right? And a good point, Damon. Do you think, and this crossed my mind, that they got caught up in the entertainment part of the situation?
Absolutely.
She wore that dress as an entertainer, not a first lady of the church.
Exactly.
He defended it. This is not saying who's right or wrong. He defended it as the pastor of the church, supporting his wife, right? And exerting his leadership, but also throwing in the entertainment value of it. I bought the dress.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying?
Well,
So,
he bought the dress. He might have led in. No, baby, go ahead and wear that. You know what I'm saying?
But that's my point, though.
I want to see you in this dress, in this situation. Go ahead with it. You know what I'm saying? So there's different sides you have to
I get that. So, is there an entertainment spin on this situation? Because they are leaders of the church, but also they're entertainers. You want to know why? Because they're making money from being on social media.
So it's all determined on who they're trying to address then at that point, right?
I think. I mean, he was. I mean, kudos for defending your wife and everything, man. But I think he realized early that this fiasco is not worth the peace in his house.
It might be
because otherwise, what else was he supposed to do?
It might be.
Was he supposed to admonish his wife?
What do you mean by that? Admonish his wife.
Was he supposed after he had heard the criticism from the congregation? Was he supposed to go?
Well, he had to take responsibility.
Was he supposed to go up to the pulpit and say, "Yeah, well, honey, you was wrong for that"?
Well, he took responsibility. He said, "I picked."
He had to. He had to because I'm pretty sure they left the house at the same time.
That's what I'm talking about. She didn't sneak it past her.
Yeah.
So
yeah, he's supposed to check that at the house.
Yeah.
I mean, if he had an issue with it, I'm quite sure he
would. But he absolves himself by saying, "I bought the dress. I chose the dress. This is what I chose to do." So did he put his wife in a position to be admonished and all that?
Because it's fine for him if you marry.
So she should have knew better.
You can buy whatever you want to for your wife. That's for you.
But see, that's the thing.
That's for you. But her wearing it out for us to see on that.
No, but that's my point though. She understands this man's where he is in leadership. So she is not going to beast her way to a fundraiser without his permission. I have to assume that.
I know. I mean, I think the same way, Keith. I think
that I have to assume
he was trying to please him based on his admission.
I think that they both got caught up in. It's not the right word, but to really let you guys know what I'm talking about, in the power of it. I mean, we can make this happen, and then they were surprised because he dedicated a whole sermon to it. They were surprised of the backlash. You see, I didn't say backlash, I said blacklash. You understand what I'm saying to you?
I get it.
Yeah, but it's. Go ahead. I'm sorry. It's just a testament of us putting our black religious leaders on the pedestal, man. The same thing. The same things go on in our houses as their houses.
But why take it there? Is it a matter of you live and you learn, man?
What do you mean?
Yeah, I know he learned now, Fluke.
I'm just saying. So if he was about that, right? He had an ulterior motive.
Yeah, I don't know him. Keith is familiar with him. I've seen him. And different his sermons, but I don't know.
Let me hear what Keith got to say.
Yeah, because he's been, as far as his history, he has publicly been busted and moved from churches more than probably 4 times for having affairs and stuff. One time, a man come home and he jumped out the window of the house.
Whoa!
Oh Lord!
Yeah, so he did it like that.
So, and they hired him for their church, and that's a mega church that he's in charge of.
That's it. That's what I'm saying. So I'm saying that when you were saying was it for entertainment, I was saying absolutely that's what it's for. It's for everybody.
Well, that's a legitimate argument.
Yeah, because instead of going to OnlyFans to see that, I can go to church.
You said OnlyFans.
It wasn't that bad, man.
Hey,
hold on, man.
Yeah, baby, I go to church.
In your KB, in your estimate, was it that bad, OnlyFans, man?
What now?
I said, in your estimation, OnlyFans, is that what you sold?
I'm saying I'm speaking from people because these are people that are in a church setting. So I have seen on OnlyFans. I've seen that. I've seen someone. Well, I can call her name.
Wow.
That Libra game chick. She advertised. She'll be on Instagram and she'll have on an outfit. She may have worn that dress, but she has an OnlyFans.
Who?
This chick called Libra, Libra gang. Libra. It's Libra now.
Okay.
LEBRAA.
Okay.
She used to be like video vixen. She's been in some
Okay.
videos.
Who you talking about his wife?
No. I was talking when you were asking me about. I was responding to your question about the what she had on. But no, I don't think she was on OnlyFans.
Oh, okay.
No,
I thought
she's
you were
not
talking
on.
about her being an
No,
OnlyFan and all that.
But I was associating. I was saying if I'm in there and I'm just some cat off the street and somebody asked me to come to church and I come to church and she's speaking and I'm watching that dress and I'm looking, it ain't just her. I'm looking around the congregation. I'm like, this ain't bad.
Well, I don't want to be in that.
They gonna come back, man.
That's their business. You know what I'm saying? That's their business, and they're gonna have to figure that shit out moving forward.
Yeah.
That's their business.
Is what happens when people go back home, or before they go back home, because it's gonna be some issues in some of those people's houses. I'll give you one story. When Keith and I, when we were working at the sheriff's office, one time I was at the screening machines, and this female came through, and she was a stripper, but she had like her outfit on. So when she came through, she got offended because how I was looking at her. And I was looking her up and down. So I addressed it. I said, first of all, look around you. Look how everybody here is dressed. I said, I know what you do based off your dress. And she was like, yeah, what they have to, I mean, you looking at me disrespectful. I'm feeling uncomfortable. I said, no, it's my job to look at you. You coming through a metal detector. I said, you looking at my ass. I said, that's where your hands at. Put your hands down to your side. Your hand beside your ass. I'm looking at what's in your hand. I can see, I'm looking at all of it. I said, but you can't come in here with that outfit on, you got titties and ass out, and expect us to just whistle and look up to the sky.
What you say? You came in here with your ass out, and I ain't supposed to look.
But you don't want us. You want us to ignore it. Like, come on, man.
He said, "Whistle and look up in the air."
Yeah, she was like, okay, I see what you're saying. The way I said, I'm gonna look at you,
lady. I'm trying to do my job.
Yeah.
Hey, female walk in the room with all that happening, and you look at her and you say, "Damn, man, that's crazy."
Yeah.
That's a
You should be suspicious.
not visceral, but that's a response. That's a natural response. Damn, man.
Yeah, let me look at this. This don't happen.
Look at you. Look at you. Now, if she's KB, if she's straight up and down, you ain't finna have that reaction. But if she curvy and all that, you're gonna be like, "Come on now."
Yeah. But you see how I justified about the hand. I said, lick your hand to your side. I said, they're right beside your hand. So I was looking at your hand.
Hey, KB, the woman you with, she gonna be looking like, man, all her ass is all out. Like, come on, man.
Yeah. So that's when.
Now, how many times y'all be with y'all women? How many times y'all be with y'all women, and the woman was walking through a mall, exposed like that, and your woman, you ain't even paying no attention.
Yep.
You just like, man, I can't wait till we get out of this damn place. And she says, "Baby, look."
You know exactly where to look. See, that's the test right there.
Yeah.
You look.
You look.
Your first move is like, your first move is looking up.
Damn.
What were you talking about? No, down there. You like, No,
You
but
look and you be like, damn, that's crazy.
you know what?
And your spouse agree with you? Yeah, she's showing everything.
Yeah.
And so
And give you 5 seconds to observe and look, and then cut it off. Say, that's it. That's enough. I just wanted to bring that to your attention.
okay. So I have a question for you. This is a quick one, quick response. Why is it that we have so many rules when it comes to the black community on how to behave?
Yeah.
Anybody have an idea?
It all depends on who the hell you're listening to.
I mean, because we're talking about Pastor Bryant. We're talking about a certain set of rules, unwritten rules that his people felt that they broke, right? When it comes to just anything, we always have a different set of rules. Like, okay, perfect example, not bringing the white or black thing in there, but what if it was a white pastor and his wife got up there and had a tight dress on and all this? It would be whispers, but would it be outrage? You see what I'm saying? Our community has a different set of rules, man, and it bothers the hell out of me. Not because I want them rules to be broken, because I think that we as a community are probably the most worthy, conservative, dependent, right thinking community. We think the right way when it comes to raising our children, when it comes to everything that we do. We have the right outline, but we get blamed for being outliers.
I think it's because we choose to be magnanimous in that situation, bro. We choose not to be we choose not to be petty in that situation. Because I would say this, I would state this question to you, bro. How many times you watch so-called pastors' wives on the stage with push-up bras on and all that stuff, bro?
Look, I don't really look at
How many times have you seen that happen? I saw it numerous times.
Yeah,
I just choose not to. I just choose to be like, man, I'm not concerned about that shit. But that lets you know just how petty these other people are, because they choose to pick all that stuff out. And here's the thing that's most telling is the fact that the only reason why you pointed it out, either because as a woman you jealous or you covered this shit.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Let me go off a little bit from there.
Real quick, I like to know how many women who criticize their dresses wear makeup.
Say that again.
I'd like to know how many women who criticize that lady's dress happen to be wearing makeup.
I'm sure the majority.
Yeah.
90 percentile.
And a sin is a sin, ain't it? So it ain't no difference.
And that's the thing about it is, sometimes when our heroes or our leaders get propped up more, even though they got a bigger responsibility, and they should carry that responsibility, because if we giving you this kind of power, men or women, you should carry that responsibility to try to do your best and be your best, right? But we throw it on a microscope like we're looking for an excuse not to follow. Because many a movement got derailed because you fucked up the moral clause. You feel what I'm saying? our morality get brought into question, then it's an excuse for people to leave. And I'm speaking in a general statement. I'm if I had time, I could be more meticulous about it. But I'm saying this really looking at it. We have rules, not just we're talking about the church situation because that just crossed my mind. But I'm talking about in our community, we have a set of conservative rules that if we break them, sometimes we get ostracized. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's like,
Yeah.
with them, it's like what Deborah was saying earlier. We'll put these church leaders and stuff up on a pedestal, and if some of them, I guess, will do it, but some they have to say, "Look, I'm a man like you. I'm coming out of this book. I'm telling you what we should be doing. I'm in this world with you. I'm struggling with the same stuff as you. So it's some stuff I got to work on. I got to repent every day. It's some stuff that I see or that I do every day. But I'm just sitting here trying to encourage you to keep doing the best you can, doing the best I can. Now you got people's attention.
Yeah.
Opposed to walking around like you floating on air. And
I
then
mean,
you do something, everybody like, wow, look what happened to him.
And you know what's so crazy about it? Some people just have that energy too, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Where people want to see them succeed, highly succeed, and then some people want them to fail because it's the energy that they have. And it's not their fault that they have that energy. You know what I mean? But then when they start to realize they have this sway over people because we are flawed as human beings, sometimes they have an expectation that really and truly is unrealistic to the people who are looking from the outside in. You know what I mean? Their congregation, because they are on the, I got to get away from the church thing because that is faith.
Well, that's where everybody else at. Why you trying to get away from it? Be honest about it, bro.
Because I went away from that because I think what needs to be addressed is our everyday life, because that's what's going on is our everyday life.
Bro,
we are influenced by everybody. We're influenced by everybody's opinion.
Right, exactly, bro. You can come as a black man, you can come to that conclusion, but isn't it incumbent upon everybody to understand that what you covet and desire is what you might be jealous of, and that's your insecurity?
I mean, that's a good point.
Isn't that your insecurity? That's what you want to challenge every day. Oh, this woman, she's sassy. When it comes to a black woman, being sassy is totally different from a white woman being sassy. You know what I'm saying? With a white woman, it's attractive and it's something that's desirable. You know what I'm saying? But here's the thing that people misconstrue and get confused when you jealous of a situation. That black woman being sassy and desirable is because your man desired this woman. And it's out of your purview. It's out of your whatever. But when it comes to you being sassy and desirable, you want everybody to say, oh, man, you know what? She's sassy and desirable, but she's not offensive. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. If you can come to a conclusion that, hey, man, I'm jealous of this woman because she's black and she's being sassy and desirable, I'm jealous of her, then I have to figure out some miscued mindset or whatever that's wrong when that's what you're trying to be in the first place. You feel what I'm saying? We can't. I think we as black people, we cannot continue to say, you know what, how our reaction is to certain things might be misconstrued and seen as wrong, and that's just somebody else's opinion. It's not ours. We find our women desirable being sassy. We find our women being desirable in that aspect. But you want to say, oh man, well, let me find something wrong with it. That's your issue. It's not ours. We don't hold the same opinion that you do. Not because we are different as human beings. It's because y'all make it out to show that we're different because you desire that situation. You desire it. So you want to go against yourself and your passions and whatever to say, hey, I want to convince my woman that I don't desire this woman. So I'm going to find something wrong with it when you know damn well your ass desire it. And hey, can you get some collagen to be like this? That is what it is. So why do we have to be confused about that? We own power with things. And these cats over here trying to deny their passions and desires.
I think
where that makes sense.
I think a large amount of the black community, man, has this need to be anchored to something positive. And also be able to maintain their regular lives within that thing. So in regards to our religious institutions, man, our fraternal institutions and everything, we need our leaders to not only appear infallible, but do the best they can to live their lives, to a certain level of infallibility. And when they miss that mark, we're disappointed because that we feel like it brings scrutiny on us.
Based on who's bringing the scrutiny though? Is it us?
But yeah. Here's and just really I think that we expect our leaders to do all the heavy lifting. This is why it's so easy for us to be disappointed. I'm talking about actual leaders, everyday leaders. Now, I'm not talking about entertainers because we forgive entertainers depending on how talented they are in whatever field they're in. We forgive them. But we want everyday life, say community leaders, political leaders, so on and so forth, right? Civil leaders. We want them to do all the heavy lifting. All we want to do is attach ourselves to them. So I think, in my opinion, when they are shown to be fallible in some ways, right? It's easy for us to be disappointed. It's easy for us to pull away from them.
Be disappointed in what aspect, bro?
Whatever thing that they have done as being human beings, easy to be disappointed. Say allegations that this leader misappropriated some funds and it'll catch fire.
That's universal, bro. That ain't got nothing to do with physical aspects.
It's not universal to me. It's not universal to me. It's in our community.
Okay, then you can specify that, bro. An individual misappropriating funds and shit. You can do that with an individual, but in terms of universal looks, how you carry yourself, what projects as beauty and all that stuff, that's a totally different situation, bro.
So what I don't understand what you mean, man, because what I'm talking about is how easy it is to to get yourself. When I say our leaders are doing all the heavy lifting, meaning they're doing all these things, and I'm saying, oh man, I like him. I'm with him. But then when some kind of speculation of wrongdoing comes in, whatever it is, it gets shaken and people start to leave or people start to question. It happens all the time.
Who starts to lead? Who starts to
His
question?
supporters, man. His supporters. I'm talking about
Here-
leaders, dog.
When it comes to, you talking about Trump and his supporters?
No. I said our community, black community.
Okay, when you talk about our community, you know what I'm saying? There is a situation, man, that identify us as who we are as it pertains to our supporters. When you look at our supporters, it's all about the government giving us our just due. You understand what I'm saying? And here's the thing that blows my mind. Our leaders and supporters say, hey man, we need the government to give us our just due and be fair and all that stuff. But when you look at it in terms of worldwide and all that stuff, who leads in leading in every aspect of a human being? It's us. You have to recognize that through our own personal experiences, what we project into the world, that matters more than anything. It's not anybody giving us anything. This is what we project and what they respond to. It's not about what we ask. It's about how people respond to us. And that's where we need to make our argument at. You know what I'm saying? It's not about government anything. That puts the control in somebody else's hands. What matters is what's being projected in the world. We are the social people in the world. We project everything. That's just what we do. What we've been caught up in is what we're being confused by. Well, y'all dangerous and y'all this and y'all that and that's and so on and so forth. That's not the case. What we are is this, and y'all follow our lead. That we have to figure out how do we lead in that aspect, not the propaganda of what somebody thinks about us. You can think about us as black people in this country as you will. Hold on, we finish. You can think about us as black people in this country as you will. You can think about us as black people as you will, but when you look at it in its totality, y'all follow our lead.
Okay, Danny.
Y'all follow our lead. You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
Y'all K-pop and all that stuff. Y'all follow our lead. Y'all get paid off of us.
Okay, Danny. Okay. We gotta move on, bro.
Well, look. I think about the youth all the time, right? And lately it's been this thing, and it's a fad because we all went through the different nicknames for us and going through all these different things, right? And what's sticking in my craw is the term YN, right? I think a couple episodes ago we talked about this, and I was thinking about this, right? People are more comfortable. This is my opinion. This is not I don't have any facts to. It's just my observation. It seems as though people are more comfortable with calling the young kids YNs, right? And feel a certain way when they say young king and young queen. and it seems like it cringes a little bit. You feel what I'm saying? Do you guys see that, or is it just what I see?
I've seen that. Uh, I don't like it. I don't never have used the term. I don't use that to describe them. And I've always speak to them respectfully. Young man, young lady, sister, brother. That's what they're getting from me. Even if I'm upset, I ain't calling them that. Because it's just personal for me. So yeah, I have seen it, and they've gotten very relaxed with it, to where it's actually on TV programs and stuff now, and that's what they like. It's an actual group. If you're a certain age or something now, is OG. I got that OG and stuff like that. But and that's how they're playing it off. They're trying to group it all together like it's a term of endearment or something, but it's not. That's a slick way of saying what it is. The root word is a certain, because they're not saying it about all. There's a certain group of people,
Yeah.
certain group of our young people that they're putting that label on. So I have a problem with that.
I absolutely agree with you, Keith. I mean, especially in my career, man, working so closely with young black men who would be categorized as YNs. You know what I mean? And never use that term myself. I mean, because they already got enough feet on their necks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They I mean, because it's just become something to live up to.
Right.
It's become a point of aspiration, man, and that's too bad, you know.
Damon, what do you think?
I would never use that statement to identify with anybody. I wouldn't. You know what I'm saying? But nobody asked me. So it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's the situation that we're in right now. We don't choose to challenge any damn thing. We just accept it. And then they use that against us. So it is what it is.
I mean, and look, I think that a black person came up with the term. You know, it wasn't no conspiracy of white people saying it. You know what I'm saying? I think that what we, you know, with the term, you know, I really, and that's the thing about it is, I'm not above people when I say, and I don't like using the term, even if it's initial. You know what I'm saying? Because what it does is it chips away, to me, it chips away at whatever self-esteem that you have. Like, it was one moment in these past years where black young kids would be around their white friends, and they want to call them the N-word, and it's going back and forth, right? Now, some people say, "Oh, it's about power." Yeah, I just want to do this. I want to call this white kid the N-word. You know what I mean? You know, because I want to feel a certain way and this, that, and other. But really and truly, then they try to minimize it, like, "Yo, this is nothing but a word," right? But see, me personally, and I've said this before, knowing what that word did to myself and people prior to me, where they tried to put us in a box and put us there and call us this thing, right? Some people say, "Oh yeah, be a man, you know, you can overcome it because of your strength." And yeah, but you telling me I shouldn't be angry about it? You telling me I should not have issue and dispute it? You see what I'm saying? Because This is not a new YN is not a new phenomenon because they use the main word. You know what I'm saying? And I'm talking about our community. When we use it, I think it's more hurtful because I know when it comes from other people, it is trying to degrade who we are as people, period. Right? But when we use it, it sort of feels like we echo their sentiment, whoever is hostile towards me, their sentiment. You feel me? So I'm getting messages about, well, and it was in the comments also that they're lost. Folks are lost in what we're talking about, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can you name one thing that we talked about in this episode?
Oh, we talked about the biblical scripture you mentioned in the beginning. We talked about the pastor and his wife for a while. We talked about quite a few things actually. I mean,
Well, Keith, you have a great memory. What about yourself? What do you remember speaking on topic-wise during this episode?
It's of course same things that Jaquora just named, and also we went a little more in depth about how it affect. Well, on the religious side, we're talking about how it affected the congregation, people's interpretation of what happened, the different perspectives,
Mm-hmm.
why it happened, why we think it happened, how it was taken.
Okay. Damon, what about you? Do you remember anything that we talked about today? And I'm doing this for a reason, right? It's not a test for you guys. I want the folks who's actually confused to come to get with us. But go ahead, Damon.
Look, I could think about the conversation and come to a conclusion that it needs it's a conversation that needs to be discussed. I mean, we need to have that conversation within ourselves and be about it. You know what I'm saying? We can't avoid it. You know what I'm saying? We need to have the conversation because we all four of us can come to a different conclusion about something, but at the end of the day, we have to come to a resolution about what it is that we think in terms of how we should move forward. We need to come with that. We can't dismiss this shit. And that requires us to go through the motions of doing this shit.
Yeah.
And be mature enough to have the conversation.
Okay. So I thank you guys. You covered everything, and thank you very much. And you had great answers tonight. So the last topic of the night, you know, do our young men and women have the same kind of education that we had in our generation? In your opinion?
education in terms of what?
As far as okay, work ethic, direction, pointing toward your destination, having a decent idea of where you want to go, and a sense of self. Because I really believe that the one main thing that we were taught by our parents was a sense of self, understanding who we are and where we should go.
Well, I mean, the young people, dealing with the young people I deal with, man. I mean, it seems like they don't have a lot of time for civic and community thought. Uh, I don't want to say that this is a lost generation, because that the same thing was said about my generation. You know what I
Right.
mean? I mean, they everybody could use a little bit more guidance, but I'm definitely not in the mindset to say that I'm ready to give up on them. They're going through this developmental stage, and it's hard. It was hard for us. People have been dying in the streets in our community for years. I'm not making light of it, but I am saying that there seems to be a sense of amnesia when it comes to our kids, because we kind of forgot what we went through when we grew up. You know, it's definitely it's definitely a different situation, because they have access to so much more technology than we did. But honestly, I can't say that if I had access to the stuff that a 15-year-old has got access to when I was 15, I wouldn't have done any better with it. You know what I mean? So I mean, it's about growth, man. It's about them experiencing things, man, and falling down and figuring out a way to get back up.
Okay. Keith.
Uh, yes, I don't think their education is worse or better. It's kind of like what Corey was saying, like they're exposed to so much now sooner than we were. Uh, they a lot of these kids now, before they're out of elementary school, they have real world problems they dealing with right there in the house. So and the one thing I would say about our people, we were, and especially our generation, we were taught to, you have to be careful, because you're protecting, we think we're protecting our children when we should be teaching them to survive. So expose them to say, well, he's not old enough. When he gets older, then we'll tell him about. No, if he's curious, talk to him, teach him, and teach him how to survive, how to navigate it
Yeah.
at that age, opposed to sheltering them and not walking or not knowing, because it'll come to a point once they get older, they'll get clowned for not knowing stuff. When I went into the military, before I went in the military, if you'd asked me about working a job, I start thinking about farm work, manual labor. I didn't think about another indoor job or anything like that. It wasn't even on my radar. But once I got in the military and I got this mixing with other people that were from up north and other places, a lot of them, they were amazed. They thought I was playing, because they were telling me stuff, Black history stuff, all kind of things, and my mouth was hung open. And I was sitting there absorbing it, because I'd never heard it before. And they were amazed that I hadn't heard it before. So even when you say education, even what our people are in Michigan were exposed to and what we're taught is different from what I learned in North Carolina, Wilson, North Carolina.
Okay. Damon, what do you think about our youth as compared to our upbringing and their upbringing? What do you think?
Here's the difference, bro. Here's the difference. When I was being raised and brought up, there was examples I was supposed to follow because I respected people's situation they've been through in terms of being in the right position, learning, being responsible, and all that stuff. Here is the difference. People have an opinion about shit, and they're all about their feelings, and they're all about all that stuff. But one thing it doesn't deviate from is that at the end of the day, in order to be heard, you have to be able to play the game, get the education, understand you have to be put in this position to get people to recognize that this is an example to follow. You know what I'm saying? In terms of us and our ancestors and all that stuff. That's what it is. You know what I'm saying? But for some reason, people don't want to be confrontational and stuff. They don't want to be on the forefront of it. They don't want to make sacrifices. They don't want to do anything. Man, why are you shaking the bush? Why are you being controversial? I think it's where most people are at right now in this day and time. And it's like, that's offensive to our ancestors and to me, myself also. You know what I'm saying? I didn't get recognized until I bucked the system. That's literally what happened. So, in me bucking the system, there are things I could contribute to with my kids. Also, with the things that that our ancestors brought to the table. So, for me, it's about having a discussion. It's about talking about the nuances of it. You have to take responsibility of yourself and what you've been through and what you contributed. That's the thing that matters most. And we will never be recognized in that aspect because it's all going to be propaganda. Well, a person can come to you and say, hey, man, well, I feel superior more than you. No, you're not. And here are the reasons why. And these are the steps that I took. That's why you are not on the same level as me. That's what it is. It's not about being quiet or shutting down and not talking about shit. You have to talk about it and talk about your experience because that's going to benefit somebody else that's behind you.
So you think that's what in your opinion, do you think that's where the youth are lacking today? Or
that's exactly what it is because they think they know more and they don't. They don't even go through the beginning stages of it. They're just angry and say, you know what? I don't have to communicate with you because I'm on this level, whatever, and you're lacking. You're not doing anything to put yourself in a position to help your child when you have it. You're not dedicating your experience. You're not respecting your experience as pertains to your ancestors and what they've been through. All that stuff coincides, bro. But when we get to the point where we don't want to be argumentative, at some point, when do you start being argumentative based on your personal experience? When? You know what I'm saying? Even if you out there by yourself, you got to start somewhere. I'm the first to do it. And this is my explanation of how to do it as far as I think I know. But if you're not trying to be argumentative and you're just trying to just go through the motions, then what are you? You're not helping or benefiting anybody. You know what I'm saying? You have to speak to your sacrifices. You have to talk. You have to tell the world what you, as a personal individual, been through. And that's God. Your personal shit.
Okay. All right.
And that has to be shared. And you have to be honest about it and unafraid. You don't shut down. You speak on it because that's your experience. That was
So,
that's your purpose on this
so,
earth.
so what? If I'm understanding, it is our responsibility to reach the younger generations. Our
It's,
generations to reach the younger generation.
it's our responsibility to say to the younger generation, "Hey, man, hey, I understand what you're going through, bro. I get it. I'm empathetic towards it. I can't speak to it on a real serious personal level, but maybe I could say something to you that might inspire you to say, hey, you know what? He went through it, and I can look up to him. At some point in time, you have to look up to some damn body and not be concerned about his story, but but history. That's what it is. And how do you recognize that? By somebody that's personal to you. You recognize that by somebody that can speak through whatever you navigating and trying to go through. I
Okay.
I can't believe I can't begin this stage because from our family we've always been poor, and then you got a guy sitting over here saying, "Well, if somebody chooses to listen to me, I can show them the way," and that's what it is. And who you going to listen to? You going to listen to Martin Luther King, or you going to listen to your grandfather who did it? Wasn't just words spoken, action steps, making shit happen. What it is, things that you can point to.
I think Malika uh, definitely kind of encapsulated what you're talking about. She said we were exposed to a smaller world, primarily our community. It was more controlled. Our kids are exposed to the world at their fingertips at any given moment. We have less control, or it's harder to control what they take in. I think that's a great point, Malika. But I approach it from this point is not the information that my young folks take in, but how construct them on how to take it in. You see what I mean? Because if we don't have control over the information flow to them because of our smartphones, tablets, television, whatever, what we need to do is build and throw into them to help them build their character.
Let me ask you all this question, man, and I'm gonna keep it short. Let me ask you all this question: when has, in our own personal experience as men, when we look at our family, and they are either on the same level as us or whatever, that when we spoke our words, they paid attention and became on either the same level as us or better than us? You mean to tell me that shit did not happen? You mean to tell me that is not our experience? That happened in real time. Hey man, I struggled getting into college. Let me put you in touch with this person in this situation where you can get into college and do your level best. That's our experience.
That's what happened with me.
That's our experience. All three of us are graduates. Our dad dropped out of college in the 11th grade, but when you think about his knowledge level and all that stuff, he was on par with me my freshman year in college. It was a progressive thing.
Yeah.
It was a shared experience.
I mean, I think what you're saying is we need to go back to more of that. I mean, because we're all pretty much saying the same thing, but you're slightly different, Damon, because you really and truly speaking to a real strong point of view, but I think at this is my opinion about it. We all do agree that there should be more communication to the younger folks. Actual communication. You know what I'm saying? You know, how that's going to be done, I only know how I do it, and you guys know how you do it. You know, we're not sure. But let's just do this. I think tonight was a very, very good night. Great conversation, guys. So, last word of the day. And Keith, we'll let you go first because you are a special guest. Hold on, man. You're muted. Hold on.
Oh, hold
All
on.
right. There you go. We got you now.
Yeah, this is another very edifying show. Thank you again, all of you, for having me. Thank you, all three of you, for having me. I'm glad I was able to actually be a part of this conversation because the way the condition of everything today, just the world overall now, and the chaos, everything is just it really is in total chaos. And everybody's got different things to blame it on, whether it's Trump, Putin, the church, the whatever, and no one is really holding themselves accountability. The new thing now is not looking out for each other, it's your self-worth. Take care of yourself. Take care of yourself. Make sure you good. Do you. Those are the t-shirt phrases now. So it's not people looking out for their brothers, looking out for each other anymore, in my opinion. So we're gonna have to just stay prayed up and keep looking out for each other. The ones that were raised up that way to look out for each other, their brothers, and do what we have to do as long as we're here. So that's pretty much all I got. And I can say thanks again for having me. It's
Thank
been
you.
awesome.
Thank you.
Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you.
Damon, last word.
My last word, man, is that, man, I love everybody. I love everybody in terms of as long as you don't tread on my freedom and my understanding of how the world is, I'm okay with you. Real talk, because it's going eventually it's going to always come down to me and how I choose to proceed forward. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it is. What I think and what I feel matters. That's all.
Okay. Jaquari, last word.
Fellas, I've thoroughly enjoyed this
Tread on
evening's
me. I'm
conversation.
sorry. I said tree. Excuse me. I said tree. Tread on me.
Okay. Go ahead, Jaquari.
I'm good.
Hey, again, I've definitely enjoyed the conversation tonight, guys. You know, I really and truly value everyone's point of view. You know, I take it in. I always believe you don't have to agree with me, but hear what I have to say. You know what I mean? It's just, I just, and I treat people that way also. But thank you again. We'll be back here. Please go to our YouTube channel, like, share, and subscribe. build our numbers up. You know, we're on the way. Hell, we're on the way. You know, we're on the way. So you won't forget it. I said it 3 times. But this is strong. But we're going to be here next week. As always, same bat time, same bat channel. This is Strong Perspective Podcast. Enjoy your weekend. Peace.
Peace.